What's up? We are live Q&A. So I have a few questions that have come in, and this one actually was supposed to be posted last week, so I'm redoing it. For whatever reason, my app didn't post it last week, so here we are. And would love to hear your thoughts on the setup. Like I've been trying. I got the logo back there. I hope it looks better. The goal is to just keep pushing the envelope forward and making these videos look better and better over time. Definitely a far stretch of where things were about a year ago when I started this YouTube journey. So let's jump right into it. First question: what have I been seeing in the market? The market has been super interesting lately. And the reason I say that, and this is a question I feel like it might be coming up this weekend as we get into Easter. What I've been seeing in the market is depending on the property type and the level of property and the pocket, there has been pretty solid action out there and buyer activity. The issue that we are having, and I know it seems like we have a lot of listings just sitting, but the reality is that the listings that are sitting are really not that great in comparison to the other stuff on the market in certain circumstances. So if we look outside the core and we're seeing some houses, priced at 1.8, 1.9 million, and they need a full amount, like a full teardown or a ton of work. Those properties I find outside the core have definitely been sitting. Properties inside the core that need work have still been getting pretty decent action and still moving. Last week, when this would have been recorded, I just had seen a 28 offer, 28 bids on a semi-detached, actually it was a row house, in downtown Toronto, Trinity Bellwoods area. The place needed a full renovation. It was listed just over $1 million, ended up selling for just over $1.4 million, but the area was 10 out of 10, super, super desirable area. We've been seeing the same story out in the East End and the beaches area. So any of these kind of like super desirable pockets where people may be stepping up from a condo into that semi-row or town. Like I would say freehold towns right now are hovering around that 1.2, 1.3 million. Rows and semis, depending on the level of property, anywhere from, and also the area also depends, 1.2 to like 1.6 area and plus, depending on the level of property, of course, and the finishes. Detached in those areas is north of 2 million for the most part. Not always, it really just depends, but those are kind of the points of where I would say kind of where pricing's at right now. If you're looking at freehold or condo townhouses, 2 bedrooms are about that just over 1 million, 1.1 or so, depending on those areas as well. Actually, that was the third question, was like, what was the price points of different properties? That's kind of where it sits. But again, it really, really depends on the area, the level of property, and what exactly you have coming for sale. Is it tenanted? Is it not tenanted? Those are all factors as well. So these kind of things this is what we've been seeing in the market, and the good stuff has been selling relatively, or actually very quickly, on those offer nights for pretty high level prices. So it's been interesting to see, because those same properties about 2 months ago were just sitting, and even the stuff that needed work was just sitting. And I saw like comps for that house that did sell for over 1.4 were kind of in that 1.2, 1.3 range. And this one went for 1.4. So it just shows that buyer activity is back, and 27 buyers in that area went home without a property. So really seeing an uptick there. I pulled the stats and data, and now that we are in April, I can say I've seen the April numbers official from TREB. I know they're going to get released this week. Prices are up across the board. They're up from February to March. And remember, they were also up from January to February. So from January to March, we've seen a pretty good amount of increase, a few percent anyway, for most, the Greater Toronto area as a whole, and also for Toronto. So definitely interesting to see how things have been moving for the last couple months. And I think basically since those interest rate hikes, since the announcement that the interest rate increases will be on pause conditionally. We don't know what's going to happen in April next week. I believe they're meeting the 12th, I think it is. If they pause again, who knows? I mean, it obviously has to do with buyer confidence and whether or not, if the bonds come down and the fixed rates come down. That also, I've seen some 5-year fixed in the 4 range, like in the mid to high 4s right now. So not in the low 4s, mid to high 4s. And anything, if we hover around 4.5, like high fours, low fives for interest rates, and that's kind of where we sit for a while, maybe that'll just become the new normal. I remember my first place that I bought, I was at 4.79 interest rate. I thought it was such a good deal at the time. Then the next one, I got 4.29. I thought that was a big deal. And then, on and on from there. So we'll see how things play out, but prices definitely up month over month. Those numbers should be out in the next day or two, especially when we see sales and things like that. But definitely not a lot of good inventory in the areas that need it the most. Something I've been saying on this for a while. Next question. It's a twofold question. What is a rent price of a 1-bedroom condo and how much would it cost? So I keep seeing these articles come out like, this is the average price of in the article I just read yesterday actually, was this is the average price of a 2-bedroom condo and this is the cost to rent a 2-bedroom condo in Toronto. And for whatever reason, they took the average price of a 2-bedroom condo and they said that the average price to rent a 2-bedroom condo was $2,400. And obviously that gap was so big, but it's really hard to use the average price of a 2-bedroom condo because the levels of 2-bedroom condos in downtown Toronto, you either have super high luxury. I know there's one in One Bloor right now that's listed for like $32 million. And then there's some that are listed at, $799 or $799,000. That's a huge gap. So it's really hard to use just the average price of a 2-bedroom condo. I will do a video that kind of talks about those and compares them. But this question was about a 1-bedroom. I would say 1-bedroom condo with parking, you're probably looking at somewhere between $650, $700. I know without parking, last I checked, which was 2 days ago, there were over 200 condos under the $700,000 price point. Now, that being said, it depends on the building, depends if it has parking, it depends on the square footage, but that's a pretty good amount of options under that $700,000 price point. And to rent one of those condos, you're talking probably anywhere around, I would say $2,500 is average for a 1-bedroom condo right now. We're seeing some in the $2,300. We're also seeing some in the $2,700. Depends on the level of property and it depends if it has parking as well. So that's kind of where things are at. I would say under 700, anywhere between 600 and 700, you're going to get a pretty decent unit, probably without parking. If you had parking, I would say you're probably going to be over 700 for the most part. And if you're looking for a condo to rent, a 1-bedroom in the downtown core in a great area, you're talking probably somewhere around $2,500. That's your live Q&A. Any questions, definitely fire them my way. Happy to answer them or happy to use them for the next Q&A. I'll do another one later this week, especially after the stats come out fully, and more videos to come. Hope you guys like the new setup. Also have a new video editor. I hope you guys like how the new videos look and hopefully they're more engaging. And that's the goal, is to just keep pushing the envelope forward, give better and better content to anyone who wants to watch and to help talk about the Toronto real estate market. Have an awesome day. Maybe we'll get some sun one of these days. It's coming. Have a great day.